Hello everyone! Mind my unkempt face, it is Movember, so I'm growing a beard and I'm growing hair. What the hell's going on with that? Anyway, so I am cooking right now some cheese tortellini and some ricotta and spinach ravioli. So I figured on the ravioli it'd probably be really good to have a red sauce, but I have two problems. The first problem is I don't have red sauce. And the second problem is I don't have the ingredients to make red sauce. So I'm going to make a bit of a pseudo red sauce. And I figured I'd record it and get to the channel for some content. Doesn't everybody love content? So we'll be starting with a tomato paste. This is organic tomato paste. Yours doesn't have to be organic if you're following along with this recipe. This is 6 ounces of tomato paste. Thyme. Oh, come on. Focus in there. Thyme. These are all going to be Penzeys spices. You don't necessarily have to use Penzeys, but I do recommend it. Pepper. Best in the world. Ground red chipotle. This is called Justice Seasoning. It is a mix of shallots, garlic, onion, green peppercorns, chives, and green onion. Basically, if you have chives, like the like dried chives would work, as well as garlic powder and onion powder. This is just a bit more fancy. And Tuscan Sunset Seasoning. If you have Italian seasoning, that's similar. This is basil, oregano, red bell pepper. So if you have those 3 ingredients, bell pepper, the red pepper seeds would work, crushed red pepper seeds. Again, garlic, thyme, fennel, black pepper, and anise. And the fennel and anise are more for, they're very strong flavor components. Not everybody is going to have these, and if you don't have them, that's fine. So let's get right to it. Move you down here. So I'm going to start off by opening this. I don't believe that we had any plans for this anyway, so it'll be nice to get it used up. This is a really cheap can opener, so it's taking just a bit. You can see that looks like some really good tomato paste. Okay, that's still clean, so did a very good job for as cheap as it is. And I think I'll grab... Actually, I'll just use the back of the spoon to open up the lid. I'm not a fan of tomatoes, but that's a good tomato paste. Alright. And I'm just going to empty that into the bowl. Then, since it is looking just a little, I mean, it's tomato paste, so it's going to look a little pasty, but I'm going to add water, and that's also going to help me clean out this can. I'm going to add just that much water. I think any more and it'd be too soupy, and in fact, I'm going to pour just a little bit of that out. Not too much. It's still looking just a little soupy, but actually, I will bring this in so you can see. Sorry, I have to operate everything backwards. It's starting to actually come about really, really good. It's looking a lot more like a proper tomato sauce here, rather than a tomato paste. Yeah. Yes. The water. Good trick. So now I'm going to be measuring everything out. Now, how often do you have access to measuring cups? Not always, right? So we're going to be measuring everything out with a spoon, because this is on-the-go tomato sauce. This isn't meant to be, you're not always in your home. Sometimes you're somewhere else. You just got to make do with whatever you find. But I just happen to have some stuff from my home. So I'll be starting with the French thyme. I'll be starting with... Most of this is landing in the spoon. So about 3/4 of a tablespoon. Actually, I'll add just a little bit more in. Three-quarters of a tablespoon and then another pinch. The Tuscan Sunset Seasoning. We'll be adding a heaping tablespoon of that in. And then the Justice Seasoning. I will be adding in... Stuff likes to clump together. And it's going to seem like a lot, but the thing with this is, since it's dehydrated onion and garlic and shallots and whatnot, it doesn't have as much flavor as the real deal, it is real onions and garlic and all, but I mean, it doesn't have quite as much flavor as fresh. So we're going to be adding a heaping tablespoon of that as well. Alright, the chipotle. We don't want too much of this. I'm just going to dust the bottom of the spoon and then just tip it in. And then the black pepper. I know several of these have peppercorns in them, but this is just going to add a bit more extra flavor. And it's going to be another, I'm just going to dust the bottom of the spoon and tip that in. Alright. Now, stir. I'm going to go for 2 more minutes while I mix this up. Okay. I'm going to mix this thoroughly, making sure to be careful not to get any up on these sides. And this was about, probably after I dumped that extra out, it was probably about half a can of water that I had on here. It's like one of those old school recipes. You watch the entire video and then, well, I mean, then it would have been read the entire recipe, but you watch the entire video and then you make the recipe. Don't make it along with me. Alright, let's see how this tastes. It's very interesting. I think it would do well to have just a bit more of this Tuscan Sunset Seasoning. And bit more of the Justice seasoning. It didn't quite season up to where I expected it to be. Chipotle tastes fine in there. Add a little bit more this time. I don't think it quite took on the flavor of the black peppercorns either. I'll do another dusting of this. I'm adding just the same amounts that I did the last time. I'm just doubling up my ingredients. I just don't think it took on the flavors quite like I thought it would. Move this off the boil. And in fact, we'll add a little bit more chipotle. Just because I want that extra heat. You don't have to add that. Because it did take on the flavor of the chipotle quite well. In fact. Mix it all up. Mix it up. Mix it up. It smells really good, actually. Alright. How's that taste now? Yes, that's fantastic. Okay. So I will put the ingredients in the description below. And that's that. That came out really well, actually. It looks kind of like store-brand tomato paste, or tomato sauce. And it tastes better, in my opinion. It's got a bit more, it's a bit more rich in flavor. It's got a little bit of a kick to it because of chipotle. If you don't want it to have any heat but still have the chipotle, then don't double up the chipotle. Everything else, though, I think worked out really well. So yeah, that's on the go tomato sauce, pasta sauce, rather. But without any of the ingredients that you would normally... Well, I guess it has all the ingredients you'd normally find in pasta sauce, but without any of the... just none of them are fresh. So without... Pasta sauce without fresh ingredients. It's all dehydrated and whatnot. Well, thank you for tuning in for this very first episode of Cooking with Jarod. Or maybe On The Go Recipes. I'll figure out a name for it by the time this is posted. Have a great day.